the games over the weekend, the Suns lose them both. And, to reset where we are now, there's 21 games left in the regular season for the Suns, 35-26 on the year. They are 7th in the Western Conference. They almost certainly won't drop past 10th. They're going to have a really hard time climbing up past 5th forward. But if Devin Booker's going to be out for, quote, at least the next 7 to 10 days, their schedule is getting brutal now coming up. Denver, the Celtics twice, Cleveland all mixed in there. I mean, you could argue that Denver and the Celtics are the two best teams probably in basketball, and Cleveland's right up there. And they just played Oklahoma City last night, who has the best record in the Western Conference. It's going to be tough for them to move up, Wolf. So it's really kind of crunch time to get down to whatever is causing the problems for this team. The way you always say it, there's something in the way with this team.
Yeah.
It's got to be identified and fixed now.
Yeah, it's so unbelievable it is, Base Earnings, because once again, the juxtaposition of what happened Saturday night and who they were playing Saturday night with the juxtaposition of what happened Sunday and who they were playing Sunday night, it's right there. The Rockets were more physical than the Suns and took the aggressiveness to the Suns. And the Thunder were more talented than the Booker-less Suns and proved it in the end. That's the thing I can't get over.
If you could change one thing then about this team right now, like you could just fix one thing going forward, what would it be?
Their effort. Their effort right now. They're not killers. They're not killers, and they need that killer mentality right now. Saturday night, the Rockets led for most of the game, but the Suns cut it. They cut it to 99-98, right? Midway through the fourth quarter. And Josh Okogie's layup cut it to 99-98. They came back, even though the Rockets led almost all game. And Van Vliet responded with a three-pointer right there to turn it back, and then all of a sudden they took control
then it really
of the game
swung
again.
Yeah.
Right?
It would have been nice if it was just like, I think it was Saban Lee that had a layup and he missed it, and then, the Rockets came down, they hit a shot, but it's like, okay, well, now you go hit a shot. Not just like now Houston gets to go on this huge run.
On Sunday night, Luke, the Suns came back from being down 24. I mean, this is great. They came back to take the lead, but they couldn't finish the deal. They could not finish the deal when they got into the
That's
fourth
when
quarter.
Saban Lee missed the shot. Again, I watched the two games back-to-back, so
Exactly.
they've all blurred into one horrible 4-hour experience.
Look, the Suns came up with some huge stops in that game against OKC, and that was encouraging. But they turned the ball over again at critical times in the fourth quarter, and that's what also happened against the Rockets.
That's what I would change, because I could almost guarantee you to a man on the team, that's what they would say they need to change, because the three like tangible statistic things that may fall within the effort that you're talking about, or the toughness, is they usually get beat from beyond the arc, but that almost seems to be kind of they're conceding that, right? Because they're going to take more mid-range shots. They don't take as many threes as most teams. And they're actually hitting threes last night. It looked like they might win the game from beyond the arc last night. The rebounding has been an issue over the course of the season, but like last night, obviously Nurk had 31, so they were pretty dominant on the glass for most of that game. It was even against Houston. The rebounding hasn't been as much of an issue lately, and at least you see flashes of if they can get hot from three, maybe they'll take more and hit more in a game. But the turnovers,
Man.
That's not getting better. They turned the ball over 40 times in those two games. And Houston and Oklahoma City turned it over a combined 17 times. So tell me where they lost these two games. It was turnovers.
It was turnovers, man, and especially if you were watching it again in the fourth quarter. Wow. Some of the careless passes. Once again, Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, even Big Nurk. Just inexcusable. It really was a situation where you were questioning, what did you see? How did you see that? And why would you throw that pass?
It's like Sam Darnold out there.
Wow, it was bad.
Here's Yusuf Nurkic after the game on the turnovers.
I mean, I got 5 of them. A few games ago, I got 7 of them. So I had to be better. And I think from tonight, we saw some players step up, and big emphasis should be, I think, number one going forward for us to be, because we have a power. We have people who can score the ball no matter what. And I think if we don't turn over, we're going to win a lot of games. And we can't be dominate team as we wish, and we can if we're going to turn the ball over. We're just giving too much people to, have advantage of us. And 22 and 31 points, it's hard to come, especially down players, and one of the best players out too, Devin Booker. So you just got to be smart, man. I think our most, turnovers is in good, in a good place, but you just got to find a way. I think that's the biggest thing going forward for the rest of the season, and going to playoffs, you're going to see this team again, and a lot of teams who force you, in playing a fast type of basketball. So we got to be. It's almost better to shoot a bad shot than turnover.
KD had 5 turnovers, and we've seen that before, right? 3 assists, 5 turnovers. Big Nurk had 5 turnovers, 4 assists, 5 turnovers. Bradley Beal had 7 turnovers and 6 assists.
Beal said flat out after the game that's why they lost.
It's definitely why we lost the game. I think they did a good job of just junking the game up a little bit. Forced us to a lot of just bad passes. Sometimes we were playing in crowds. Weren't making good passes. So it was just everybody.
KD talked about it too.
They're trying to make the risky play sometimes, cross-court passes. They get their hands on it. There's going to be a lot of pressure on us at all times. So they looking to get steals. They're number 1 team in creating turnovers in the league, so got to be better.
Yeah, and I just want to say this quickly once again. When I say killers, Basinonians, okay, we all understand I'm talking about competing out on the floor, out on the ice, out on the field, the diamond, whatever it may be. We're talking about competing right here, but they don't have that. Killers don't beat themselves. And that's what the Phoenix Suns, that's what I mean. They don't have that killer mentality. They don't beat themselves. And yet that's what the Suns do with these turnovers. They end up beating themselves.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.